Hello everybody, welcome to my little live here. Wanted to show you a El Cheapo, supposedly 5K, but I don't know if they can really achieve it, camera today. This camera was $169 with a $40 discount on Amazon, so coming in I think $125 or somewhere in that ballpark. This camera does a good job for this type of thing that you're looking at right now. I'm actually using a real cheap 4K camera right now, is what you're looking at me on. It's like an $80 camera, and I'll show you, but however, it's got a lot of quirks, so I'm going to go ahead and send it back. I'm just looking for a backup camera. I do have a much better camera here. Let's see, we'll get the right control here. For instance, if you compare it to like my Sony cameras, there's just literally no comparison at all. Let me just zoom in with the Sony here. Even to something, we're 3 foot away approximately. I gotta find the camera though. So we're about 3 foot away here. Raise it up here. Now we're probably closer to 2 foot, but you can see even the very tiny print. I guess you can go in too close where it can't focus, but that's pretty tiny print. Let me raise it up, and I'm going to go way on back here. But this gives you an idea of what an $800 Sony camera will do versus one of these cheap ones. And hopefully I can show you the zoom. You got a little bit of grain there, but man almighty, I mean, that compared, look at the size of my finger here at 3 foot away. I mean, so, and the zoom on this thing goes, I don't even know how far it goes in, 60, 54, something like that. I've looked at the moon with it before, and looks pretty cool, So anyhow, took us out and played with it for a little bit. It does come with quite a few goodies here in the box. Let me see if we can get re-aimed here. Okay. Vacuum out a little bit. Okay. So basically, let's see if I can get that laptop out of the screen. Get so much junk piled up around you when you're doing this stuff. And I am using the old faithful, well, new faithful to me, blue snowball microphone, which I can't reach it to the camera without moving things around, so I got the wire all bundled up. Okay, so in the box here, you have your manual, which the very first part of it is in English. And then it's in a couple other languages. Let's go get a little more down on this camera here. I'll try to find my good center so I can keep finding it there. Anyways, the first part's in English, and it comes in some other languages. Give you some idea. Again, this is, I'm shooting pictures of this with my Sony at several feet away. And and gives you some idea of what a actual Sony camera will do. However, my Sony does have some downfalls. It don't have it's an older one. The newer ones probably have a remote, so I have to use this to run the PTZ, pan, tilt, zoom, and this one to add on to run the camera for my zoom, record, and so on. One of the nice features on this 5K camera is it did a very nice remote. Very surprised at the quality of that remote, and it does seem to work very well. So anyways, that'll give you some idea on the manual. You also get a separate little manual for the microphone with that one. So with the camera, I also, and I've already opened this stuff, but I took it all back apart to show you. So you get a little lens cover here. Nothing to write home about, just some thin plastic lens shade, I should say. And this piece here goes on to the front there. Gotta love the lives. Great opportunity to make an ass of myself here. Okay, so that screws on like so. And then this piece would screw into that. You can see there's a little threaded part there. And this thing can be a little squirrely to get it started, just because of the, right on that time. First time I did that, I had a heck of a time getting the threads to start. So anyways, so you end up with something like this. You also get a handle for the camera, which I really doubt that I'll use the handle at all. One thing I like to have my tripod, quick shoes, quick release, whatever added to them on my cameras at all times. You get a little boom microphone, and it comes with a separate cable here. See that there? You get your USB cable, an extra, this is the wall plug, USB wall plug. This nut, I think it goes in between. I forgot the nut, and I don't know that you need it actually after doing that again. Okay, this nut, if you chose to use it, would go in between right here. I don't think I need it. That's not going anywhere. So, okay, it did have a lens cap on the camera when I first got it, so I took it off because it doesn't work with the shader. However, this happens to work on my other cameras because you can squeeze it in and it kind of clamps into the lens. Okay, you do get an extra battery, and these look to be, I'm not sure what the amp hours or anything on these. Let's see if it says on this. It does not says. It says made in China, and that's about it. Oh well, it's actually on the back here. Tiny, 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 tiny. Let's see. Let's try the Sony cam and see if it'll actually read that for us. Wow, and I can't read that with my naked eye. I don't think we're going to get a focus when we get in there that tight. Maybe. Okay, I'll have to look at that on the big screen. I'm looking at a tiny little monitor here, so I'll have to take a look at that later and see if you can actually see that. Anyways, you get an extra battery. You also get an HDMI cable. And that looks like about it. And a whole lot of plastic to throw away. Okay, so I'm gonna go ahead and put my shoe on here, which this does not come with the camera. Back it's out here. Too many controls, guys. Okay, so this shoe does not come with the camera. But I like to have them on the cameras, and that way I can pop them right onto my tripods. I'm trying to make sure all my tripods take the same one. So anyways, there you have it there. Now if you was to put the handle on, which I don't know, I really don't know what the need for the handle is. I guess if you're doing a lot of walking and stuff and different ways to hold it to be smoother, might help you out there. I've never used one. Doubt I'll use this one. We'll see. I'll try it and see if it actually seems like it helps me at all. Okay, so if you open the lens on the camera, you get a little welcome there. Let's see if we can get that to where, oh, it's actually filming me, and there's no lens cover. That's going to make that a little tough to do. Let me set the box in front of it. See if we can block it out that way. Okay. Now let's see if we can creep in there on it so you can see the controls. Okay. All right. I'm going to get me off of the screen. Okay, so I'm using the remote here to operate this. At least that's what I'm going to attempt. So I got my zoom, which I can see it actually working on the picture on the box. Okay, it looks like you have to push the button for every increment of the zoom. You can't just hold it and have it zoom in. Well, I guess you can. You just have to hold it for a few seconds before it does that. Okay, then we also have a menu button here. So you have a resolution, and we'll take a look at those. So you have 5K, 4K at 30 frames per second, clear down to 720. And honestly, I shoot everything in 1080p pretty much anyways, because when you put it on YouTube, they just break it down to like a 7, I don't know, they don't show, it's not in high definition. And maybe I'm doing the wrong thing there and there's something I don't know. So anyways, you got your resolution. Now let's see if we can get back out of here. Okay, so I press the menu key again to get back to the main part of the menu. You got image stabilization on, and this thing did a really good job on the stabilization. And I'll see if we can find a clip. See if I can play a clip of that. I forgot to load it onto the OBS. So that looks like about it there. Now let's see, how do we get over to settings? By the way, this is a touch screen, so let's see if I can. Okay, so now we're in settings. And I don't know if the remote works or yeah, it still does. So you got your Wi-Fi connection. And when you hit that, let's turn that on. It gives you a username and password. Let's see, menu again. Metering, I don't know really what that does. It must be for bandwidth, for... Yeah, I'm going to need to read up on that right there because I do not know what that does. Then we have your white balance, which really is helpful when you got somebody standing in front of a window. Time and date stamp, which I really don't use on my cameras because I get tired of resetting the clocks on them. And automatic power off, which I prefer to keep off on all of my equipment because there's nothing more annoying than something turning itself off while you're trying to use it. So I took this thing out, shot a little bit of footage with it, and I'm fairly impressed. I mean, this thing is really pretty decent. I mean, it doesn't even compare to the picture quality on my Sony, but the fact that I have the remote, the zoom, I can remotely record, I can remotely take a picture. You can play it back on your TV, obviously, and use the remote to do that. This has I'm trying to think of sorry guys, hang on, I'm having another difficulty going on here. Okay. So, this does have on the memory card, I was getting ready to say, it has the big old style card that I haven't seen for a while. Doesn't come with this, so you'll have to have a SD adapter to put your SD card in the camera. So, and you can get this on Amazon. Let's see if we can find that. So that's the camera on Amazon right there. And I haven't tried any of my remote mics on this yet to see what happens with that. But we do have another one. The one that this one that is on me now. This is a 4K, and I want to show you which one that one was that I bought on Amazon. And let's see if we can get it to pop over to that. So it was this one, and right now it's plugged in, and for some reason when you plug a USB in, it makes a popping noise. The picture quality is actually fair, and the zoom is actually better than this 5K camera that we're playing with right now. So overall, for a beginner, for a second camera, it's pretty good. Now the zoom, I can tell you, is horrible on this camera. When you zoom in, I tried it on 1080p and 5K, 30 frames, 60 frames. The zoom is super grainy, super bad. This camera, if you need to zoom in to objects far away, this is not going to be the camera for you. This camera, for close-up pictures, seems to do a very nice job. And by close-up, I'm going to say, you know, up to 25 feet or so. You start getting beyond that where you need to zoom to get detail on it. Like I said, it just gets grainy. You can do about half zoom on it. It's not too bad, but again, it's not a good camera for zooming. So let's see if we can get one of these things to play here. I think I can add it to. Give me 1 minute here, guys. Let's see if we can find this here.
Okay, guys, this is the 5K camera. Okay, this is the 5K camera.
The sound on that was fairly decent.
And I'm walking along. This thing does seem to have
1080p.
Fairly decent image stabilization. We'll see when I play it back. If it's shaking
definitely
around.
not my Sony camera.
But it looks pretty smooth
for someone just starting out. It wouldn't be terrible.
Let's see if we can find us a fish.
And you're going to see here in a
this
moment
was
when I do a
creek
zoom
in Hillsboro, Ohio. I think this is can't remember the name of the creek. But it flows from Hillsboro clear to Rocky Fork Lake.
See if I can fast forward that some for us.
Any rocks? That's as far in as it goes.
Okay, there I zoomed in on some rocks that were just laying down there on the ground.
I wanted to bring a black light down here sometime from some of the other videos I seen and see if there's a any rocks that glow under the black light like they showed. I can't think of the right names for them. Alright.
Let's see if I can find where I
zoomed.
Looking for where I zoomed in on the there's like a little dam or waterfall. I think it's right in here where I did that.
And if you go on down, there's a dam down there.
Yeah, that's it.
Let's try our zoom.
So you can
again.
see the zoom right there. It's super grainy.
It looks like the zoom is real smooth. And we're only shooting. I'm only shooting at 1080p, 60 frames per second. So I'm gonna shut it off.
So that's in 1080p. Now I'm gonna pull up
5K and see what that looks like in comparison.
Or 5K, supposedly 5K. Again, it's not 5K. I can tell you that. And we need to find a media source. Let's see if I can find this thing again.
Hey guys, driving back home here. I'm turn the camera on the dash and see what my face looks like on 5.
Filming.
Hey guys, driving back home here. I'm turn the camera on the dash and see what my face looks like on 5K. If it's truly 5K.
Let's try one more media source here. See if I can find the right one.
Okay guys, now we're in 5K. While we're walking to see how
I believe
stable it is.
See, I can tell by where I was moving. So it's headed back
Not very.
the other direction. Okay, this is that was
halfway
5K zoomed in, and you can see it's
not
beyond
too bad.
terrible.
And let's get back over here.
Pop over to another part here. So this I'd switched to 5K and did some farther out pictures without the zoom.
Well, you'd think it'd be the opposite. I can see the screen when the sun's at my back, but when
and again, as for a starter camera, this is not
whiteout
for the kind of money. I mean, you're spending on this camera, you know, at $125. It's not.
Okay, let's get over here and we'll find some rocks and do some close-ups on the rocks.
Matter of fact, I'm really impressed with it. I didn't expect it to be nearly as good as what it was. I thought maybe I could use
another zoom
just simply as
a
second perspective camera or something that would run for a backup.
Zoomed in,
and the curiosity.
Not very.
Really got the best of me when I seen it said
halfway
that it was 5K.
Zoomed.
That might be a little bit of a stretch of the imagination.
And let's get back over here.
So anyways, that's some pretty rough footage
there
there of me testing that thing out.
Does they get?
Move on up here, see if we can do some close-ups.
And oh, over here, check this one out.
So here we are in the 5K mode and doing close-ups at a short distance. And again, you can see these are really grainy.
You can get this out in the sun.
So I've picked up a rock here that very strange looking. I think it's quartz, but I'm not sure what that rock was. I had a lot of really can't see on the camera, and now I notice that I seen it on the camera. It looks like a big potato.
Try just going in close at the camera.
So there's a close up.
Okay,
I see my Sony
we need there, guys.
Pull that in perfect detail if you was a foot away.
Back to the roost. Catch y'all later.
So, anyways, there you have it. The cheap 5K camera. I think I'm gonna hang on to this. I will use it. It can't be any worse than the thing that you're looking at now. Which actually this 4K does a good picture quality, but it has a lot of other issues. So I don't recommend buying, and I'll show you again which one I bought. I do not recommend buying this camera. Let's see. I can find him here. Okay, that is the camera right there. It's an $80 camera. Again, the picture quality, just sitting here doing it like this, is not very bad. But it's got a clicking noise. I had difficulty getting it to take the SD card. The display goes off when you're trying to use it with like an OBS Studio. Like right now, I have no display on the camera, which I like to have. I'd actually written up a complete review on it. If you go on Amazon, you'll be able to see the review. There was probably at least 6 or 8 issues with it. One thing I did like about that camera, though, and actually I might just keep it for this, is this has a remote mic that comes with it. And I'm telling you what, that remote mic, it's just a little dongle plug there, and the mic, and that thing worked really well. It also came with a 32 gig SD card. So actually, with all that taken into consideration, I might just keep it just for that and the SD card, and it still will work for a backup camera to use like I'm using right now. So anyhow, you guys have a good day. Hopefully I didn't make too big a fool of myself on this live. And another little issue happened over a little bit ago that kind of freaked me out, but other than that, we're good. We're back on track now. So if you'd like to see more of these videos, which I'm sure there's plenty of those. So anyhow, please like and subscribe. Even if you don't like my videos, subscribe. You don't have to watch them, but you will help me out tremendously, and I'll be eternally grateful to you. You have a great day, and I'll be eternally grateful to you. You have a great day, and thank you.